All right, so the other day I was cooking. I was making carne asada and chicken tacos. And y'all gonna see it in the vlog later on, so be on the lookout for that, right? But I had this amazing dinner, right? Made the tortillas, made the carne asada on the grill, made the chicken on the grill, made the guac homemade, the pico myself. Like, it was a phenomenal dinner. Now, anytime you have a great dinner, of course you want to have some good dessert, and it just so happened to be one of our cheat days. So I'm like, I'm gonna whip us up something to eat for dessert. Baby really enjoyed the dinner. It was time for a nightcap. So what I decided, I wanted to make some yellow cake and chocolate frosting, my go-to when it comes to dessert. So I get the egg, I get the butter out, I get the sugar, I get the frosting and the batter. I get everything out ready to go, right? Obviously I got the cake pan, I got the oil to grease up the pan a little bit so the cake don't stick. And by this time, it's a little late, right? We had a late dinner. We probably didn't eat dinner until about 7:30. It was probably about 9 now, and I was kind of tired, but I was trying to get it done and over with, right? So I'm kind of rushing through the process just to finish this up. Well, instead of following the recipe step by step, I was kind of in a hurry. So I'm like, all right, well, let me just skip this initial part, right? And so they had a particular way that they wanted me to mix everything, but I'm like, yo, if I'm just gonna mix it, like I'm just gonna mix it. It's all going in the same place anyway. So I just started throwing things in there and started mixing the pot, put it on a pan, put it in the oven, right? Nice and neat. So I pulled it out and it looked really good. It smelled really great. I pulled it out the oven, and for some reason, the outer layers of the cake pan were dry, but the middle of the pan was still wet and soggy. And so I'm like, damn, if I put this back in the oven, it's gonna burn the edges, but the middle's gonna be properly cooked. So what the hell should I do? Better yet, what the hell did I do wrong? Well, what happened was it didn't rise right away because I didn't let the batter rest properly. Understand that my intentions were in a good place. I used the proper ingredients, but I was out of order. And so the result, dessert was ruined. Right? There was no reconciling it. We didn't DoorDash nothing to eat. I just took the L. What this had me thinking was like, damn, I rushed the process, but ultimately I was out of order, so I didn't get the result that I wanted to get. And honestly, I feel like life works the exact same way. You can have the right dreams, you can have the right tools, you have the right intentions, but if you try to build out of order, it's gonna collapse. If you try to build a roof without a proper foundation on a house, it's not gonna work. I think back to school, and one of my favorite parts of math that I actually did enjoy was, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, right? The order of operation. Parentheses first, then exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Super simple. If you don't follow that sequence, no matter how many times you try, you'll keep getting the wrong answer. I feel like life has the kind of same success formula. I think success has an order of operation. And if you break the sequence, you don't get the result that you want. Now, you might ask, why do we do this? Why do we rush steps? And like my scenario, I was tired, right? I just wanted to get it done and over with. That's why I rushed. But I think in life, sometimes we may feel behind, and so we start trying to get ahead and start rushing different processes, and we end up becoming out of order in our operations and in our success formula. Psychologists talk a lot about instant gratification. Our brains are wired to chase fast results, even if it sabotages our long-term success. That's why we skip certain steps and want the reward immediately. I think another reason is overwhelm. A lot of times we get super overwhelmed, and so we don't even try at all. We see how long the path may potentially take, and we throw in the towel before we even start. And that's another reason why we take shortcuts. A lot of times when we feel super overwhelmed, we start taking shortcuts. And I think I might have felt that when I was making the dessert. So a lot of times it's not that we're incapable, it's that our mind is tricking us into thinking that skipping the order will save us time. So if life has an order of operations, what would that order be? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm here to break it down. The first thing, and the very first thing that I like to get all of my clients to understand is that it is belief first. Belief first. Self-belief. Your self-concept, your self-belief is the ceiling of what you can accomplish. If you have low belief in yourself, you'll have a low success rate. Another thing is, if you don't have a high self-esteem, you're also not gonna be that motivated to get stuff done. And if you're already not doing stuff, your self-esteem is gonna be really low. Our self-esteem starts to raise the more that we say that we're gonna do something and actually do it. So if you need assistance raising your self-esteem, start by creating small micro wins on doing the things that you know you really should be doing. If you know you should take that trash out, man, go take that damn trash out. If you know you should go to the gym or go for a walk, go to the gym and go for a walk. Do what you need to do because it all starts with belief. You'll never behave in a way that is beyond what you believe. You will never behave in a way that is inconsistent to what you believe. I made a video, one of my favorite videos, the interconnection between behavior and belief. You need to go watch that. That is foundational for what you can accomplish. All right, the second thing, I would say it's mindset. Mindset is second. How you frame your challenges determines if you will quit or if you will grow. The third thing is discipline, right? Discipline is the anchor to accomplishing anything, right? Understand, this is the order of operations. I'm giving you the step-by-step framework of how you can achieve anything based on this sequence of order. Understand that small, consistent habits stack up and eventually develop into your own transformation. If you stay disciplined with whatever you are doing, there is 100% success rate to accomplishing if you stay disciplined, if you stay consistent, if you stay determined to doing what it is that you set out to do. If you want to lose weight, if you want to lose 100 pounds, the only way that you can't lose 100 pounds is if you stop being disciplined. If you stay disciplined, if you remain consistent, there is 100% success rate that you will accomplish that. Forget how long it takes. The problem is we rush the process and we start getting out of order because we don't want to, or because we don't know how long it's gonna take. And so we throw in the towel, we give up. I don't wanna harp too much on that. I wanna give you the next one, all right? Number 4, I would say vision, mindsight. Seeing your life from your mind instead of seeing your life through your eyes. This is the order of success operations. I don't want you to see the thing as if you're looking at it physically. I want you to see it through your mind. Meaning you're already at that goal weight. You're already making the money that you wanna make. You already have the love and relationship that you seek. You can't execute what you don't know. Have the vision. Keep the vision at the forefront of your mind and only focus on the positive outcomes. Don't worry about the negatives. Don't worry about when. Don't even really stress about how. Just stay committed to what it is that you're after and you will get there. And then last but not least, I would say execution. Execution is extremely important. You cannot achieve anything without proper execution. Execution is the last order on the list, but the reason that it's last is because execution only comes after the foundations are in place. Understand that action is the last step. Action is the lowest level of consciousness. A dog can take action. So don't focus so much on the action. Yes, execution is important, but it is last in the order of operation. You gotta have a strong foundation and you gotta have strong belief in what it is that you want to accomplish. Now, me personally, I learned this the hard way. I talk about this story a lot, but this was one of my biggest transformations, was me going from a 2.2 high school GPA to a 4.0 cumulative GPA in college, and really overall GPA in college. I'm summa cum laude, you know what I'm talking about? Y'all gonna see it on the vlog, be sure to check that out. For years, I told myself I wasn't a school person. My belief was out of order. My identity was out of order. And so my execution was out of order because my foundation was out of order. So even when I studied and really tried to apply myself, nothing stuck because my identity, my belief was out of order. The moment that I changed my belief, the moment that I changed my perspective and my perception, my reflection changed, which means my life changed, which means the way that I experienced school, because my identity changed, the results that I got changed. What I had to understand was that the order mattered more than the effort. A lot of times we give so much effort on things. A lot of times we're putting in the work. But if you're out of order on the work that you're putting in, you're not gonna get the result that you really, really want. You may be working really, really hard, but you're working really hard at the wrong thing. If you're working really hard at the wrong thing, it doesn't matter how hard you work, you're not gonna get the result that you seek. A lot of times people run into this wall when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to body transformation. Right? The same thing happens financial change. They're working really hard in the gym, but because it requires an extreme amount of discipline in nutrition, they fall on this teeter-totter. So they work super hard at the gym, but they don't eat right. And so what happens is they're breaking even, right? The same with financials. They're doing a great job of budgeting their money, but their expenses are too high. And so they break even. This happens all the time, even in life. You're trying to be really, really disciplined. You're trying to focus really, really hard, and you're working on executing, but your foundation is wrong. And so your order of operations is off. Therefore, you're breaking even on life. I want to leave you with this. Where are you out of order? Maybe you're chasing money, but you haven't built the discipline to manage $100. You got to be able to manage a little before you can manage a lot. Maybe you're searching for love, but haven't learned how to love yourself yet. Maybe you're trying to sprint before you've learned how to walk. This week, I want you to leave a comment and ask yourself, did I skip a step? If you did, don't quit. Acknowledge it, recognize it, and just go back and do it in order. Success does leave clues, and if you follow the right order, you will get the same result. If I would have followed the right order in the recipe, the cake would have turned out amazing, and we would have had a great nightcap. But because I didn't, we were out of alignment. I'm about to go put up this dresser that I bought, and if I, for whatever reason, skip a step, I'm gonna have to start from the very beginning. Yes, that can be a little discouraging, but get it right the first time and you won't have to go back and redo it. Go slow. Don't rush the process. Trust the process. And if you're somebody who needs some extra help, some extra hand holding, be sure to join the Discord, Men of Mastery. This is for my men to get right, man. We are on this path of intentionality. We are on this path of being purpose driven. Shout out to my guy Malik. We are on this path of transformation. All right. So if you are serious about transforming your life, join Men of Mastery. We meet every single week and we boss up and level up. All right. I will see y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace.